If you asked anyone in Willow Creek who the most extraordinary person in town was, they'd all point to Grandma June. With her silver curls, peppermint-scented hugs, and the uncanny ability to bake 10 pies before sunrise, she seemed like any other sweet old lady. But to her granddaughter Lucy, Grandma June was pure mystery wrapped in an apron. Lucy had lived with Grandma June for almost a year after her parents moved abroad for work. At first, she thought life in the old Victorian house on Maple Street would be boring, but the moment she found the attic key under the third stair, everything changed. The attic was the only room Grandma June never talked about. It was always locked, always dusty, and always seemed to hum faintly when the wind blew, as if whispering secrets through the floorboards. One rainy afternoon, when thunder rolled like drums and the smell of cinnamon buns drifted through the air, curiosity got the better of Lucy. She pulled out the rusty key, its teeth cold against her fingers, and climbed the creaky stairs to the attic door. It clicked open with surprising ease. Inside, it wasn't just cobwebs and boxes. The air shimmered, literally shimmered, as though a thin veil of light hung in the room. Old photographs floated mid-air, glowing faintly before settling back into their frames, and at the far end stood a massive trunk, carved with symbols Lucy didn't recognize. Circles, wings, stars, and a spiral that looked almost alive. "Don't touch that." Lucy spun around. Grandma June stood in the doorway, her face pale, eyes sharp. For a heartbeat, she looked 10 years younger. I found the key," Lucy stammered. "What's in the trunk?" Grandma June hesitated, her hand trembling slightly. "Something I hoped you'd never have to see." The thunder outside cracked so loud it shook the window. The trunk began to glow, faintly at first, then brighter, until both of them had to shield their eyes. When the light faded, the trunk's lid had shifted open a few inches, and a faint humming sound rose from within. Lucy looked at her grandmother in disbelief. "Grandma, is it alive?" Grandma June sighed. "Not alive, my dear, but very much awake." Just as Grandma June reached for the trunk, a voice, soft and familiar, whispered Lucy's name from inside it. Lucy froze. The whisper was soft, almost like a sigh carried by the wind, but it clearly said her name. "Lucy," she stumbled back, eyes wide. "Grandma, did you hear that?" Grandma June didn't answer right away. She moved closer to the trunk, her hands shaking slightly as she touched the carved spiral on its lid. The symbols flickered with a faint blue light, pulsing to the rhythm of her heartbeat. "I told you this place was off limits for a reason," Grandma murmured. "There are things in this house that remember more than they should." Lucy swallowed hard. "What's in there? Who's in there?" Grandma June hesitated, and in that silence Lucy noticed something she hadn't before. On the trunk's edge, burned faintly into the wood, were the initials EJ. "Who's EJ?" Lucy asked. For a moment, Grandma June looked like she might not answer. Then in a trembling voice she said, "My brother, Edwin James. He disappeared when I was your age." Lucy's mind spun. "Disappeared? You mean—" Before she could finish, the trunk's lid creaked open the rest of the way, as if responding to their words. Inside, there weren't old clothes or papers, but a swirling pool of light, glowing like liquid moonlight. And deep within that glow, Lucy saw something impossible. A young boy's reflection, waving at her from the other side. "Grandma," Lucy whispered. "That's him, isn't it?" Grandma June's eyes filled with tears. "He's trapped. And if the voice has started calling again, it means the barrier is weakening." Lucy stared into the light. The boy's reflection mouthed something she couldn't hear, then reached out a hand. The glow pulsed brighter. "What barrier?" Lucy asked, her heart racing. "The one I made," Grandma said softly. "To keep that world from crossing into ours." The attic trembled. Books fell from shelves. The air turned cold, and the swirling pool began to rise, forming a column of shimmering mist. From within it, Lucy could hear faint whispers, laughter, footsteps, and a distant tolling bell. Grandma June grabbed Lucy's hand. "We have to close it now." "But what if he's still alive in there?" Lucy shouted. "We can't just—" The light exploded, flooding the room in a blinding flash. When it cleared, the trunk was empty. The humming stopped, and Grandma June was gone. In the eerie silence that followed, Lucy heard the whisper again. Only this time, it wasn't from the trunk. It was coming from the mirror on the attic wall, and it sounded exactly like Grandma June's voice. The attic was silent except for Lucy's pounding heart. Dust drifted in the beam of light cutting through the cracked window. The trunk sat empty, still warm to the touch, and Grandma June was nowhere to be seen. Then came the whisper, "Lucy." "I'm here." It wasn't coming from the trunk anymore. It was coming from the mirror on the far wall, an old oval mirror framed in tarnished silver. Lucy crept toward it, each step creaking on the floorboards. "Grandma?" she breathed. Her reflection stared back, and then blinked out of sync. Lucy gasped. The reflection, her reflection, smiled and spoke in Grandma June's voice. "It's all right, sweetheart. Don't be afraid." The reflection's background was different. Instead of the dusty attic, it showed a lush forest shimmering with golden mist. Strange glowing butterflies fluttered through the air behind her. "What happened to you?" Lucy cried. "Where did you go?" "I'm in the other side," Grandma June's voice said softly. "The world inside the trunk, the world I sealed long ago. It's called Ilaria." Lucy's breath caught. The name sounded both beautiful and dangerous. "I thought I closed it forever," Grandma continued. "But when you opened the trunk, the link reawakened. Now it's trying to pull this world into its own." Lucy touched the mirror's surface. It rippled like water beneath her fingers. "Then I'll come get you out. We'll fix it together." Grandma shook her head. "It's not safe, Lucy. The light that holds me is fading. If you cross over, you may not find your way back." "But if I don't," Lucy said, voice trembling, "you'll be trapped there forever." A pause. Then, very softly, Grandma June smiled, the same warm smile she gave when she baked cookies on Sunday mornings. "You always had my stubborn heart," she said. "If you really must come, follow the song." "The song?" Lucy asked. Before she could say more, a faint melody filled the attic, a haunting lullaby that sounded like it was being played on the wind. The mirror's glow brightened and the reflection began to blur. "Grandma! Wait!" Lucy shouted. But the image faded, leaving only her own frightened reflection staring back. The song lingered, weaving through the air like invisible threads. Without thinking, Lucy took a deep breath and stepped forward, right through the mirror. The attic vanished. Lucy opened her eyes to find herself standing in a forest of floating lights and silver trees and a shadowy figure watching her from behind the mist. The air shimmered around Lucy like liquid glass. Every breath tasted faintly of honey and rain. She stood in a forest where silver trees bent toward her, their leaves whispering secrets in a language she didn't know. Fireflies glowed blue and gold, drifting lazily between moss-covered roots. "This can't be real," she whispered. Then she remembered the lullaby, the song that had led her through the mirror. It still echoed faintly, guiding her deeper into the woods. Lucy followed the sound until the trees opened into a clearing. At its center stood a stone arch covered in vines and glowing runes. Beyond it shimmered another veil of light, like the surface of a lake on a summer morning. But she wasn't alone. A tall figure stood beside the arch, cloaked in shadow. His eyes glowed faintly silver, and when he spoke, his voice was both kind and haunting. "You shouldn't have come, child," he said. "Ilaria is not meant for mortals anymore." Lucy took a step back. "Who are you?" "Where's my grandma?" The figure tilted his head. "Your grandmother? She broke the balance long ago. To save her brother, she sealed Ilaria away." "The cost was heavy. My great-uncle Edwin?" Lucy asked. The figure nodded. "Yes, the boy who wandered too deep into the song." Lucy's pulse raced. Then she was trying to save him. "Not destroy this place." "Both are true," the figure said softly. To save his soul, she bound it to the song, and in doing so, she trapped herself between worlds. Now the seal weakens and the shadows hunger to return. Lucy clenched her fists. "Then tell me how to help her." The figure hesitated. then slowly extended a hand. Follow the melody to the heart of Valeria. There you will find her, and the truth. Before Lucy could move, the ground trembled. A cold wind swept through the clearing, and dark tendrils of smoke curled from the trees. The shadowed figure turned sharply toward the forest. "They've found you," he whispered. "Run!" Lucy bolted through the glowing woods as the shadows chased her, whispering in strange, broken voices. The lullaby grew louder, almost desperate, pulling her toward a distant mountain glowing faintly at its peak. Behind her, she heard the figure's voice one last time. "Find the heart before the darkness does, or both worlds will fade." Lucy didn't look back. She ran toward the mountain, the song of Valeria echoing in her chest like a heartbeat. As she neared the glowing mountain, the melody stopped, replaced by a single trembling voice that whispered, "Lucy, it's time to choose."